Hey guys, today I'll show you an American horror film called Teeth. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie begins by showing a small town in which a family of four is hanging out in their backyard. Two young kids are shown playing in a tub filled with water. The eldest son, named Brad, is being rude towards his stepsister named Dawn. His father advises him not to be rude. A few moments later, Brad yells in pain, and his father rushes towards him. Brad shows his finger, which seems to be bitten in half. A few years pass by, and Dawn is now all grown up. Now she is a teenage spokesperson for a Christian abstinence group called The Promise. She attends the group with her two friends, Gwen and Phil. Gwen asks why Dawn has not been picking up her calls, to which Dawn says that her mother is sick and that she needs to take care of her. At the group, she meets a boy named Tobey, which she finds to be very attractive, and Tobey feels the same way about her too. Phil introduces him to the group as his childhood friend and adds that he's going to start school together with them. Dawn then rides her bicycle home. There she goes to the room where her mother is sitting on the bed reading a book. Her mother asks her about her day at the group and feels happy when Dawn says that they asked her to come and talk again at the group next week. Her brother Brad starts blasting music in the next room, annoying Dawn. Later that night, Dawn brushes her teeth, and when she walks to the shower, a half-naked Brad walks out, scaring her away. The next day when she goes to school, everyone makes fun of her for being a virgin. After school, the four of them go to the movie theater, and they choose a cartoon movie to avoid seeing hormone scenes in the other two movies being played there. While watching the movie, Gwen and Phil exchange their hormones by a tongue massage. But unfortunately, we get to see Dawn and Tobey only exchange smiles at each other. At home, we are shown that Brad and his girlfriend are smoking pot. His girlfriend asks him about the bite mark on his finger. He says that it was Dawn who bit him at a very young age, but his girlfriend doesn't seem to buy his smelly bullshit. The four of them later go on a road trip just outside the town to a lake. Gwen and Phil go swim in the lake, while Dawn and Tobey talk about their hormone activities. Gwen says that she's never had even a single hormone let-go event, even with herself. But Phil confesses that he had an intimate hormone moment with himself, and says that he is still feeling guilty about it. It gets dark, and the four of them leave the place in Tobey's car. At home, Dawn kisses her mother and goes to bed. As she lies on the bed, she gets glimpses of her and Tobey getting married. This makes her hormones go crazy. She then starts touching herself, but stops when she sees a monster, ruining the moment. The next day at the school shower, Tobey gets a call from Dawn, saying that they both should stay apart to maintain their purity. At home, Dawn reads a book when she hears the fight between her brother and his girlfriend. Dawn goes in to check in on her brother, but she gets pissed off when he says that he wants to have a hormone let go with her. Dawn then goes to the lake and waits for Tobey. There, she finally agrees that she wants to go swim with him, but strictly follows a no hormone let go rule. As they swim, they both massage their tongues. Dawn gets to a cave and covers herself with a blanket as she's cold. Tobey joins along with her, and they massage their smelly tongues again. Now Tobey wants to get intimate with her, totally forgetting the no hormone let go rule. Dawn gets a bit uncomfortable and wants to get Tobey to leave her. But Tobey gets even aggressive, and this causes Dawn to panic. Tobey hits Dawn's head to the ground, and she faints. Tobey takes the opportunity to begin releasing his hormones. This wakes up Dawn, and she fights back and inadvertently bites off his hormone spear with her hormone shield. Now we get to know how Brad got his finger bitten. That's too nasty. I can't even image that. Both Tobey and Dawn get shocked when seeing Tobey's hormone weapon being cut off. Tobey screams in pain and flees the scene. Later, Dawn goes home and rips out all the pictures of Tobey on her wall. The next day, Dawn is silent and does not speak well at the Christian group. After a meeting, she meets her classmate Ryan at a dance party, and they talk. She asks him to drop her off at her home. Before she gets off the car, Ryan asks him if she would agree to come with him on a date. Dawn smiles and tells him that it's funny and leaves the car, telling Ryan to go. Ryan goes halfway, but gets pissed off at Dawn. So he goes back to Dawn's home, only to get punched in the face by her brother Brad. Dawn goes back to the lake, and she screams in horror when she sees a freshwater crab crawling on Tobey's hormone spear. Then she gets on top of the cliff and drops her purity ring off into the lake below. She goes back home and researches about vagina dentata and finds out that she may have it. She also learns that it is a myth that is found in many and diverse cultures all over the world. And the story is always the same, that is, a hero must battle with the woman and break her power. Later, she goes to a gynecologist to learn what is going on down there. While waiting in the examination room, a doctor named Dr. Godfrey enters the room and gets her into a position to examine her. To find what's wrong with Dawn, Dr. Godfrey assaults her in the name of physical examination. This causes her to panic and involuntarily bite onto his hand holding him. After quite a struggle, he manages to get it out. But in the process, he gets his 4 fingers bitten all from his right hand. Dawn rushes out and leaves the place. Dawn sees several police cars passing her and even spots someone driving Toby's car, so Dawn decides to follow them. She arrives at the lake, and she sees the police gathered around. A team of divers is seen bringing up Toby's body out of the water, who might have died of shock after getting his hormone spear bitten off of his body. After getting to know about this, she goes home sad, calling for her mom and dad. At her home, the ill mother is seen to be collapsed down while getting back from the bathroom. Dawn sees this and rushes to help her, and sees that Brad and his hormone partner are letting go of their hormones right in his room, not even bothering to help his mom. Dawn calls 911, and her mother is taken to the hospital. In the next scene, Dawn wakes up, scared on her father's lap at the hospital. Her father tells her to go home and get some rest. Dawn wearily walks home and sees her brother and his hormone partner argue again. Leaving the place, she goes to Ryan to seek his help. Ryan, who is sleeping, is woken up by the loud knocking at his garage door. He opens it and finds Dawn present there, wanting to talk to him. She breaks down in front of Ryan, and he hugs her to comfort the crying Dawn. She starts being hysterical about her encounter with the doctor and her mother. In the next scene, Dawn is in a bath when Ryan hands her a pill, saying that his mother takes it to calm her nerves. But unknowing to her, the pill he gives her is a sedative. Dawn comes out of the bathroom and surprisingly finds that Ryan had decorated his room with scented candles. Dawn finds this attractive and sits down with Ryan. They have a glass of wine together. Ryan makes his move and hugs her. In the next scene, we can see both of them lying naked on the bed. Ryan satisfies his hormones by using his hands and some tools to get her hormones up. After doing this, he goes to the next step of the hormone game. Dawn gets afraid that she might hurt him with her teeth and tells Ryan about the myth. Ryan is desperate to let go of his hormones, so he tells her that is the hero who is going to battle with her to break her power. She finally accepts and lets go of the fear that she might hurt him. She finds that when she is relaxed during the hormone game, her down teeth do not engage. At the same time, in a hospital morgue, a doctor is showing a tooth to a detective that was stuck on Toby's body. He says that the root of the tooth looks like that of a shark, and the crown made him think that it's from a lamprey. When the detective asks whether it's a cross from the two animals, the doctor says that it's not, but from a human. In the next scene, we are shown that the gynecologist is lying down on a surgical bed to get his fingers ready to be sewn back in his hand. When the surgeon asks him how he got his fingers cut off, he doesn't say anything, but instead puts the mask on. The following morning, Dawn and Ryan play the hormone game again. But in the middle of their game, Ryan's friend calls him on the phone. Ryan boasts to him that he's with Dawn. When Dawn asks Ryan what this is about, he smugly boasts that he and the friend had bet on whether he could have a hormone game with Dawn. This statement makes Dawn angry. In her anger, she bites off his hormone spear without any mercy. Dawn leaves his place and heads out. Ryan calls his mother for help. Dawn's father comes inside Brad's room and attempts to throw him out of the house. This leads to a fight between them, but Brad gets the upper hand and sets his dog on Bill. Dawn goes to the hospital and gets to know that her mother has died. Her father and Brad's girlfriend come to the hospital. Brad's girlfriend tells Dawn how Brad told her to ignore her mother's cries for help earlier. Dawn gets angry and decides to use her power. She goes back home to seek revenge. Dawn puts on makeup and dresses up in a way to impress Brad and raise his hormones. She then goes to seduce her stepbrother. Brad sees her, and he also wants to let go of his hormones. Dawn seduces him further and successfully gets into the bed. Amidst their hormone let go, Brad recalls that while they were little kids, Dawn had previously bit the top of his finger off. But he realizes that it was not Dawn's mouth that had bit his finger off. As Brad realizes this, Dawn's hormone teeth bite off his spear suddenly. Dawn gets off of Brad and drops the bloody spear on the ground. When Brad orders his dog to go and attack Dawn, the animal instead goes up to his dropped smelly spear and eats it yummy. Dawn leaves Brad to bleed to death. She then cycles away from her home. On the way, Dawn's bike tire gets punctured and she hitchhikes. An old man gives her a lift and Dawn falls asleep. She wakes up after sleeping for a long time and finds herself at a gas station. Dawn tries to get out, and the old man continues to lock the car door. He licks his lips as if to ask for a hormone favor in exchange for her freedom. Dawn hesitates a while at first, but soon she looks towards the old man and smiles seductively. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your fun for today.